Can you imagine walking into your next business meeting with the confidence that your English sounds natural, correct, and easy to understand by native speakers? So often I hear from my English students that they don't feel confident when they're using English in a professional situation. They want to use English naturally and correctly, so native English speakers take them seriously. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 secret strategies to help you improve your English the fastest, specifically your English grammar. So often I hear from my students that they want to improve their pronunciation and their vocabulary, but English grammar is just as important. Grammar carries meaning, and if you're using the incorrect grammar, it can create confusion or distraction. If you're living in an English-speaking country, or you want to live in an English-speaking country, like my country, the United States, and you want a professional career, maybe you own a business, or you want a higher level in a company so you can help more people and make more money, you'll be taken more seriously and reach more of your dreams if you're using English grammar correctly. Why does this happen? Let's imagine you own a business and you need to hire a business manager. The first person that you interview has really amazing ideas and they look like this. The second person that you interview has equally amazing ideas, but they look like this. Who are you probably going to trust more to run your business? Personally, I would trust the first applicant more because by the way she's presenting herself, she's showing me that she takes herself and her work more seriously. And so I'm going to take her ideas more seriously. Now, it's possible that these two people are equally intelligent, creative, responsible, and they have equally amazing ideas and organization. But the way they're presenting themselves matters. And that is what grammar is for language. The grammar that you use is like clothing or clothes for your ideas. Your grammar affects how people perceive you. It affects how they perceive your abilities, your education, your ideas, and your dedication. This is probably true for grammar in your own language too, isn't it? Now, if you don't live in an English-speaking country and you never want to live in an English-speaking country, don't worry. If you're making small mistakes with your grammar, but people understand what you want to say, it's no big deal. If you can understand me in this video, you're doing amazing with your English and you should be proud of yourself. Learning a language takes a lot of practice and hard work. But if you're living and working in an English-speaking country, you owe it to yourself to make your English the best that it can be. And improving your advanced grammar is super important. And because I know you have a busy, full life, in a few minutes, I'm going to tell you my 5 secret strategies for improving your English grammar fast. My name is Raleigh. And for the last 17 years, I have taught English to adults to help them achieve their business and professional dreams. I started my career by moving to Japan to teach English, and I stayed there for a few years, so I understand what it's like to live in another country. So many times I felt embarrassed or inadequate when I didn't know how to use Japanese correctly. But I still loved my time there, and I especially loved teaching English. And I know that there are so many immigrants back here in the US, my home, that really need English in order to live their best lives and achieve the American dream. So I moved back home to the US and I got a master's degree in TESOL, teaching English to speakers of other languages. For the last 13 years, I have taught English to adult immigrant and international students at US universities and college. And by the way, in English, college is not the same as the Spanish word colegio. College does not mean high school. In the US, college is the same as university, except colleges are usually smaller. However, the degree or the education that you get from a college and a university is the same. The students I've taught in college and university are from all over the world, more than 45 different countries, and they're also all ages. So some of the students are just graduating from high school, but some of the students are in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s. Many of them already have university degrees, but they're studying English because they want to live in the United States and they need English for their professional careers. Before teaching, I worked in human resources, and now I'm starting my own business. So I have a combination of teaching and professional experience that allows me to help my students with their English for their professional careers. So today I want to share with you 5 secret strategies that I use in my classes to help my students improve their English grammar the fastest. These 5 strategies come from research that shows that English learners improve their grammar the fastest and with the most accuracy when they're using these strategies. And listen, I know that mastering another language can feel stressful, but you can do this. Yes, it takes time, it takes practice and studying, but you've got this. You've got this means you can do this. You've got this. Like I said, I have helped over 2,000 students improve their English for their professional careers, and I would love to help you too. So you've got this. And I'm going to give you a hint. Watching English lessons on YouTube is helpful, but it's not enough. Research shows that you remember only 20% of what you hear and only 30% of what you see. I'm going to show you how you can remember 90% or more of the language that you're learning. Isn't it exciting that you're about to learn the 5 best strategies for improving the fastest so you can reach your goals as soon as possible without wasting time? Number 4 is a really surprising strategy, and number 5 is my favorite. So I'm super excited to share them with you. Let's begin. Secret number 1 is learn to describe the grammar rules. You can see a lot about grammar rules by watching YouTube videos, but if you're only watching the videos, you're not really giving yourself a chance to learn the grammar well enough so you can describe the rules to someone else. YouTube is a wonderful place to start, and it's a great place to get some of your questions answered. But if you really want to learn the best, you need some more structure to your learning. An example of this from my recent video series about English sentence structure is that every sentence in English needs a subject and a verb. And if you want to hear more about this, I will put a link to this lesson below this video so you can watch it. This rule about always needing a subject is not true in lots of other languages. For example, in Romance languages like Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Italian, in many cases, it's possible to say a sentence or write a sentence without the subject, and it's perfectly okay. But in English, it's never okay to have a sentence without a subject. This is a really big error in English, and missing the subject in your sentence looks really bad. So in all of my grammar and writing classes, I require that my students learn this rule and that they can tell me about the rule. Because when they can tell me about the rule, it helps them avoid making the mistake in their writing and their speaking. And this is true for all grammar rules. You will use the grammar better if you can describe the rules yourself. The second secret strategy is use the PPP model for language learning. The PPP model stands for presentation, practice, and production. Researchers have found that students learn grammar best if they follow this model. So let me explain more about what the PPP model means. First, students watch a presentation. This means a lesson about the grammar that they're learning. And this lesson is even more effective if it's an interactive lesson, meaning the students are participating in the lesson. This is why in my YouTube videos, I'm always saying, answer my question out loud, talk with me, and I really want you to participate in the lesson. Next, students do some very structured practice on this grammar point from the lesson. For example, maybe they do an exercise where they have sentences and there are missing words that are about this grammar point, like verb tenses. So the students complete the exercise and they fill in the blank with the correct grammar. Finally, they practice producing the grammar themselves in open communication, like speaking in a conversation, or they do an open writing exercise. And this part is very important because without this part, they don't get practice using the grammar in normal conversation and writing. So they probably won't use the grammar correctly in their daily life if they miss this part. Research finds that if you're missing any of these three parts, especially the production part, you will make many more mistakes with the grammar that you learn. So again, YouTube is a wonderful place to find English grammar lessons, but it's only the first part of this model. If you want to learn the fastest and best way possible, you also need to find a way to get the practice and the production part of the model. However, getting the practice and production using the PPP model is still not enough by itself because you're not going to know if you're making mistakes when you're doing the practice and production part. And that brings me to secret strategy number 3, understand your mistakes and the corrections for your mistakes. Research shows that English learners learn grammar the best when 1, they understand the mistakes that they make, and 2, they understand why the mistake is wrong and why the correction is correct. Actually, research shows that if you're practicing speaking and writing English, even without corrections, your English is going to improve over time. But it's going to improve much more quickly if you're receiving corrections and if you understand the corrections. Receiving corrections only works if you understand why your mistake is wrong and why the correction is right. So if you're starting to feel a little bit stressed, like where am I going to get all of this practice and production and correction on my practice and production? Don't worry. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you can get help with all of these things from me if you want to. But first, I want to share secret strategy number 4. And for me, this was the most surprising one. Correct other people's mistakes. Research shows that if you are able to correct your mistakes, it helps you remember what you learned, but you remember even more and you improve faster if you're correcting other people's mistakes. That's crazy, isn't it? Why other people's mistakes? Well, this could be because when you're learning a language, if you start to feel nervous or uncomfortable, it can hurt your learning. It can stop you from learning. So sometimes when people see their own mistakes, they start feeling embarrassed or uncomfortable or even defensive, and that can hurt their learning. But if they see other people's mistakes and they practice correcting those mistakes, it doesn't create any of those negative feelings, so it doesn't hurt learning. Before I get to secret strategy number 5, which is my very favorite strategy, and I think it's going to be your favorite strategy too, I want to say that you might be feeling like, okay, all of this sounds great, but I have a really busy life. I have a family or I have a career. I have myself to take care of. I don't have time or money to spend all this time learning grammar in a course. So what should I do? Are you interested in learning about a short, inexpensive course that uses all 4 of these first secret strategies and you can do online on your own schedule from the convenience of your own home or office? I'm excited to tell you that I'm offering some grammar courses on the lessons that I have here on YouTube. And if you have time to watch my YouTube videos, you have time to take these courses. So let me tell you more about them. In fact, you've probably already seen some of the lessons if you've been watching my YouTube channel. Today, you learned that watching YouTube videos is just the first step in really improving your English. I'm offering complete courses on the first 2 series that I've created on my YouTube channel, and these courses include every single strategy that we've talked about today. The first course is about English sentence foundations. This information is what I teach at the beginning of every single English grammar and writing class that I ever teach, even if it's an advanced class, because I know that when students understand this sentence foundation in this way, it really helps them quickly understand every single grammar lesson and every single writing lesson they ever have after that. So they can learn grammar so much faster and so much better. The second course is about gerunds and infinitives. And this is a topic that even my most advanced English students still make mistakes with. It's also a topic that requires a lot of memorization with a lot of gerunds and infinitives after a lot of different verbs. So I'm planning to create a lot of videos on my YouTube channel to help you memorize these things in a fun and easy way. So this course is going to help you understand the foundation of gerunds and infinitives, so it will make that memorization so much easier. Even if you don't need courses on either of these topics, I'm going to add more courses over time. So check the link below to see all of the current courses that I'm offering. Let's look together at what's going to be included in the course. Remember the PPP model? My YouTube videos in these series are the first P, the presentation or lesson portion of the course. I'm giving you these lessons completely for free on YouTube. But like we heard earlier, you remember less than 30% of things that you see or hear. So that's why the practice and production portion of the model is so important. And that's what you're going to get when you buy my complete courses. Do you remember the second P, practice? You need structured practice. So when you get my complete courses that accompany my YouTube videos, you'll also get several practice exercises for each video like the ones you see here. This way you can practice the grammar that you learned in my YouTube lessons. The third P was production in speaking or writing. And this one is super important if learners want to be able to use the grammar lessons later in their daily lives. In my complete courses, you will get open written production exercises like what you see here. This could be even more fun and powerful if you have a friend or a colleague who you would like to take the course with you. After you complete the written exercise, you can meet and talk together using the grammar. You could even meet on Zoom if you wanted to. But even if you don't have a learning partner, the writing practice is still super powerful on its own. And a strategy I like to use for speaking practice is to talk to myself. This can be fun too. And I don't feel embarrassed if I make a mistake. Remember secret strategy number 1? English learners use correct grammar more often when they can describe the grammar rule. In my complete course, for each video, I give you a study guide that you should complete while you're watching the YouTube videos. This will help you take notes and describe the key grammar rules and points from the videos, and this alone will help you remember better. Then in the practice exercises, I'm going to ask you about those rules to make sure that you know how to describe the rules yourself. And how about secret strategy number 3? You will improve more when you understand your mistakes and when you understand the corrections to your mistakes. In my complete courses, you will get the answers to all of the exercises. And more importantly, you will get additional videos of me explaining the answers. That way, when you check your answer, if you have a mistake and you feel confused, you don't understand why something is incorrect, you will have an explanation from me telling you why the correct answer is correct. And finally, secret number 4, you improve the most when you correct other people's mistakes. My complete courses include sentences with really common mistakes, and you're going to correct them. This will help you avoid making common mistakes, and it will help you make sure that you can use beautiful, natural English yourself. Remember, doing all of these exercises is super important if you really want to learn and you want to learn fast. That's because you remember only 20% of what you hear and you remember only 20% of what you see, but you remember 90% of what you do. That's why you need a complete course with all of these components if you really want to learn advanced English grammar the most effective and the fastest way possible. As a bonus, because all of my students tell me that they want to express themselves more naturally in English and especially in professional situations, all of the practice exercises in these courses are about professional scenarios, and they include natural language to use in professional and business situations. So you will get professional vocabulary practice too. And all of this is going to help you express yourself more naturally and more clearly when you do business in English. I know you have a busy life dedicated to making your professional dreams come true, and your time is valuable to you. So you're probably wondering, how much time are these courses going to take me? Well, each of the courses that I have right now, you can complete them in 6 hours or less. That means that you can complete both courses in 12 hours or less. These days, the average adult spends about 2.5 hours every day on social media. So if this is you and you just eliminate that for a week, you could complete both courses in just 1 week. However, I recommend doing the courses a little bit more slowly, maybe doing 45 minutes or an hour a day for a couple of weeks, but this is completely up to you. Up to you means it's your choice. So it's your choice how much time you spend on the course every day, or it's up to you how much time you spend on these courses every day. And since all of the lessons are recorded, you can rewatch the lessons and redo the practice exercises as many times as you want to or need to in order to really master the material and feel comfortable that you've learned what you want to learn. In fact, a few years ago, I started teaching all of my college classes online, and this is what I love most about teaching online. If a student feels a little confused after a lesson or some practice, or maybe they missed some information, you know how it is when you're taking a class. Sometimes you get distracted and you miss what the teacher says. Now my students have everything on video. So my students can watch the videos as many times as they want to. Usually, if they've missed some information or they're feeling confused, if they just watch the video a second time, it's enough. And after that, they feel much more confident and they understand everything so much better. How much does this cost? Well, if you take private lessons with me one-on-one, my current pricing is $150 per hour. So for 12 hours, that would be $1,800. And my prices for private lessons are increasing soon. For group classes of 25 students at the college that I teach, 12 hours of class costs $288. But it's impossible to buy only 12 hours of class. Students must sign up for an entire semester of classes. So the full semester costs $1,152. If a student already has U.S. residency, meaning a green card, and they are a resident of the state where my college is, these prices can be a little bit cheaper, but it would still be around $80 for 12 hours in this group class. And my college is offering English classes online less and less. It's rare for them to offer English classes online anymore. For either of these options in person, you wouldn't have the recordings of me teaching where you could rewatch the lessons. This is one of the biggest reasons I'm creating my own online courses. I really believe that for busy professionals, an online course is amazing. They can create their own schedule around it. They have the discipline to do the course on their own, and they can rewatch the lessons as many times as they need to. And I can offer my courses for a much cheaper price if I'm doing it online. You can visit www.raleighL.com to check current pricing for my courses. At this website, you can also take a quiz called How Professional is My English Communication? I will have a quiz like this for each course that I'm offering. When you take the quiz, you can test your English on the topic in the course. This way, you can see if you're making any mistakes, and you can decide if the course is right for you. You can also find more details about the courses, and you can learn about other courses that I'm offering. I will put a link to my website and to the quiz around this video in the description or the comments, so you can check there and easily find them. Are you ready for secret strategy number 5? This one is my very favorite, and that is believe in yourself. One of my favorite quotes is from a man named Henry Ford. He was the creator and founder of Ford Motor Companies, and he said that whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. And I don't know about you, but I really believe this. I believe that what we think and what we believe matters. It determines our outcomes, our results, more than anything else. So, what I want more from you than anything is for you to believe in yourself. You've got this. Yes, I know it can take time to learn a language, to perfect the grammar, but you can do this. You've got this. Thank you so much for joining me today. If these courses are something you're interested in, check out the link below. You will get more details about what's in the course, and you can also see any other courses I'm offering, and you can sign up to receive free material that I'm giving away too. No matter what, no matter if you join me for the complete courses or not, don't give up. Keep believing in yourself. You've got this. If you stayed through this video and you understood the majority of this video, you're doing amazing with your English. I'm super impressed with you, and you should be proud of yourself too. So keep going with your English language learning. I really encourage you to find ways to use the 5 secret strategies that I've shared with you today, whether it's with me or in another way, because I know that you will grow into the most beautiful English speaker and writer. Have a gorgeous day, and I'll see you soon.